Have you ever walked into a friend's beautifully done home and wondered whether you're capable of such creativity? That was me a number of years ago. I walked into this beautifully done house, right into the bedrooms where we were spending the night, and I concluded I am not creative. But wait a minute, is that true? Absolutely not, of course. As I was to later learn, in today's video we are talking about creativity. We are focusing on verses 19, 22 and 24. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. Welcome to Formations of a Noble Woman. This is a channel where we talk matters womanhood and the woman seeking the mind of God concerning the same, so that we can align our lives to His will and purpose as women. If you're new here, consider subscribing and just hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload new content. As is always our custom, we need God. We need to pray so that we just trust the Lord to speak to us as we continue. Indeed, Father, speak to us. We would want to hear your voice, listen to you, lead us, speak concerning creativity. Help us to align our lives to your will in that area for the glory and honor of your name, in Jesus' name. Amen. What is creativity? I looked at just the Google dictionary because I thought it's necessary for us to just find out what this term means. And this is what I got, that creativity is the use of imagination or original ideas to create something. In other words, inventiveness. Our God is the epitome of creativity. Just look at the world around us, His creation. By the way, one of the reasons I enjoy shooting this from outside is just this beauty around us, the noise of the birds. I just find it natural and beautiful. Look at the mountains, the hills. By the way, where I'm seated, on my right are the Aberdares and on my left is our beautiful Mount Kenya. Just viewing this mountain on a bright morning sky, I mean, you just love it. And all this is the creation of our God. When we look at the birds, some of the birds that are chirping around me are so beautiful. Bluebirds, yellow birds, whatever birds in the countryside, displaying the beauty of our God. Psalm 19, one of my favorite verses, says, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of His hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they display knowledge." There's no speech or language where their voice is not heard. Their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. So if we don't behold this beauty, we know the heavens are declaring that, the glory of God, right from the skies to where I'm seated today and where you are right now. Look around you and you will behold the beauty of our perfectly creative God. Let's come down to man, who has been made in the image of a creative God. We see creativity in buildings, beautiful buildings, in cars, in the things that man has made out of God's creation. And when we come down to our homes, we will find the beautiful homes like the one I talked about. We will find beautifully done food. We will find beautiful artifacts. We will find beautiful things that have been made out of our hands. The internet abounds with this kind of creativity that man has made, because he has been made in the image of a creative God. I intend to look at various aspects of creativity, and so this cannot fit in one video. But today I just want to ask the question, what's the purpose of creativity? Because you may be wondering, why do we warrant a topic on creativity? Really, why creativity? And I thought of a number of reasons why we need creativity. We need to trust the Lord for creativity, and of course we will talk about other aspects in the coming video. The first reason I find why creativity is necessary is because it displays the beauty and the glory of our God. You can imagine when we are creative, we are glorifying God. When we come up with something beautiful for the glory of God, He is glorified. When we come up, like I'm saying, with those things or creative ways of doing things, then we are glorifying God in the process. We are portraying His beauty, His glory, His creativity as He is perfectly creative. So that's one main reason why we have and should be creative for the glory of God. Remember, He has made us creative, and so He wants us to display that for His glory. Can you imagine when you have a beautiful environment around you, you're glorifying God? The second purpose of creativity I thought of was that we are providing a conducive environment for the purposes of God to thrive when we are creative. I think of ministering to some people through hospitality in our home, and they find my home just terrible looking, or even if it's not terrible looking, it's just plain. But now imagine these same people coming to my home and finding it beautifully done like I saw in the home of this woman that I visited. I tell you, I enjoyed the beautiful artifacts she had just put in the right place, at least from my point of view. The beautifully done dried flowers, and I remember that's when I thought, oh, you can do something with dried flowers, paintings just put in the right place. And now when I sit and I am excited and happy as she offers her hospitality, I enjoy it as well as enjoying the environment around me. I mean, just think to yourself, why do you run off to a beautiful retreat center to rest? It's because it's beautifully done. Why do you enjoy resting in that particular home of that brother or sister? It's beautifully done. So creativity has a way of just granting us the opportunity of providing an environment so that the purposes of God can thrive in and through the lives of people in a deeper, greater, wider way. Creativity, the third purpose, is that it enhances simplicity and thriftiness. I think of one time when I needed to do some cakes for a wonderful sister, and they needed stands, not the normal stands, but the rugged ones. And I didn't have much time. Her wedding was the next day. I don't want to make her sad on her wedding day. And I looked around me. Thank God we are in the countryside. I saw an old log. I ran to our center, a kilometer from here, and I had that fundi cut up that log and make a stand for it. And I told that fundi to finish it off with varnish. I know he wondered what I'm doing, because being in the countryside, he didn't understand rugged stands, but I told him just do that. Now you can imagine, it didn't cost me a lot. Being in the village, the fundi may not have understood what that is about. I didn't have to go and look for a log from wherever else. I just went for a log around here that was really doing nothing, and I came up with something beautiful. So you can see thriftiness, the Lord giving you ideas to create something beautiful out of something very simple, something that somebody would have ignored. And we have seen people be creative using items in the home that we would have thrown away, a box, and just covering it with a beautiful sheet, and it forms a wonderful centerpiece in the sitting room. So you see, it enhances thriftiness, it enhances simplicity, so that we are not thinking we have to go out of our way to be creative by doing the things we will see in the magazines or in the media. We can just use what we have to be creative. Creativity will save time and money. Sometimes I think of maybe just this creative way I've worked on my hair, something I have also learned from other women. Rather than taking so much time working on the hair, going to the salon, doing 1, 2, 3, sometimes I'll plait my own hair, simple lines. I mean, you just find yourself, because of the creative aspect the Lord has put in you, you can save a lot on time. I have given that example when I talked about thriftiness and simplicity. You just find with the simple items around you, you're saving on time, you're saving on money, and yet you're coming up with something creative, coming up with a beautiful recipe, coming up with a beautiful peace in your bedroom, going to the second-hand clothes vendors, looking for that green piece that you would want and cutting it up and placing it in the appropriate place. So you find you will save a lot of time, you will save a lot of resources that can be used for other purposes in the kingdom. There's a sense to which creativity will enhance wholeness on our part, like when I'm working on a beautiful mat, or I'm working on a crochet item, or someone who knows how to paint, they're painting, and you're able to use your spiritual facet as one who is born again, your mental facet, your physical facet, and you express that on paper, you express that in something that you're working at with your hands. I believe this will enhance wholeness, being able to bring out the best that is in you through something that you're working on. I think of sometimes the times when I'm working on a mat and I have time to think, time to reflect, time to just think about my life and see what I can do, or see what I can do with my children. So just giving me time also to reflect on many other things, just causing me to experience wholeness and the blessedness and joy of just seeing myself create something beautiful for the glory of God. And the last one, though it has come out in a few of the ones I have said, the purpose of creativity is basically to help us create a beautiful environment around us. I think of the creation story when the earth was formless and empty, and God just says, let there be light. Our perfectly creative God creates a beautiful environment out of an earth that is formless and empty. And I find because we are created in His image, a lot of times He will lead us in that path. You will find a house that is abandoned. I have seen, for example, on the internet, a person creating a beautiful home out of an abandoned 100 whatever number of years old house, out of the creativity that God gives. And you're thinking, I saw that bedroom looking like that, now look at how it looks right now. So that now we are able to create that beautiful environment around us. Yes, we are in a fallen world, but because we are created in the image of God, He grants us the privilege to co-work with Him in just creating beauty around us for His glory, so that now we are able to be more fruitful, more productive as a result of that. So in today's video, I want to end there, but look out for tomorrow's video, where I just want to look at how we can enhance our creativity for the glory of God. Because you might just be like me, wondering, am I creative really? Do I have the capability of coming up with something beautiful like that? What does it take? Look out for tomorrow's video on that. Check out this playlist here, where I have compiled all the videos I'm doing on Proverbs 31, right from the introduction to where we are. I pray that they will be a blessing. Thank you so much for joining me today, and until then, bye.